Southeast Asia has been extremely active on the issue and on Say No. In fact, in 2007, when we launched Say No as a signature campaign, in Thailand, the lead was taken by young boys and girls in schools who wanted to collect signatures. We had postcards that they collected signatures on, but they went to public spaces, they went to malls, they went to their own schools, they talked to their teachers and their own peers. Um, and they talked about the issue and they encouraged people to sign on. Um, Now, as they were doing that, they were able to initiate and spark dialogues about the issue. What started as a simple signature campaign in 2007 in Thailand is now becoming, or has become rather, a full fledged program involving youth workshops on gender and violence against women and girls. And as we all know, to really make a difference in, 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 in the lives of women and girls worldwide, we need to look at our younger generations. We need to talk to men, we need to get men involved, we need to make sure that the women's movement is still strong and going, and, um, um, and we need to ensure women's participation at all levels. But we also must engage young people. They are the future, they are the ones who are going to carry this forward. So, in one sense, these initiatives that in Thailand and Vietnam, etc. In Vietnam, I should also say, um, the Vietnam Women's Union took the campaign really grassroots, where they went door to door, where they collected signatures and talked about the issue. So these are some of the initiatives that I can talk about. In Philippines, recently for 16 Days campaign, this came up on Seno website. They posted an action page. It's called Save Our Women campaign. They collected about 6,000 signatures, and they also had a community action where the men from different walks of life within the community came together to talk about strategies on ending domestic violence. I think that's a great initiative. In Malaysia, what's the progress of this campaign? Well, I would love to hear from someone from Malaysia actually. What are the things you are doing, and can it be showcased on Say No? How can we support your initiative in Malaysia? World Without FGM asks, can you talk a little bit about what it took and what time, I'm sorry. Ah, can you talk a little about what it took and what it was like to launch the Kenya campaign? I think you're talking about the global launch of Say No, which happened in Kenya. So Say No Unite launched globally, but we launched in Kenya with some events planned around key partner organizations. What it took? Well, it took extensive planning, first of all, because one of the things that we knew is at the end of 2008, here was our reality. We knew that we should not drop off. We knew that the momentum was building and we needed to nurture it. We were a global campaign in a very busy landscape, because the landscape on ending violence against women is absolutely star-studded with incredible work, whether it's coming from international NGOs or grassroots organizations. But here was a global UN campaign which did not want to duplicate or replace the work, did not want to steal the limelight from these grassroots actions, wanted to keep it focused on actions, but had to be broad enough so that people found it useful for their own national and local priorities. So it took extensive consultations with partners. It took the entire 2008 to build this network, to build this web platform, to design it in a way that is interactive and it's useful for organizations like you. Within Kenya, we were very fortunate to have worked with the partners that I mentioned. and we were familiar with their work, and they came on board, and it was a great opportunity for us to really shine the spotlight on the work that they've already been doing. Um, have men's groups been posting to your website? You mentioned several in your talk. We do have some men's organizations as partners. White Ribbon Campaign, who did the first webinar for the Pixel Project, was a partner, is a partner rather. Men for Gender Equality Now, who I mentioned, is as well. The SCAR Club in Kenya that I talked about, it's a girls' high school, but it's a guy. It's a man who talks to them. Their mentor is a man. It's an incredibly great setup. Actually, it's surprising, and it's effective, and it works. Um, there are men's groups posting on the website, yes, and there's another question here. I just meant to ask if many men's groups were setting up pages on the Seno website. I, many, I'm sorry, I lost you for a minute. Yes, there are quite a few men's organizations who have partnered with Seno, but there are more organizations, I think, who believe in working, engaging men and working with men and women. Um, so we have a good mix. I would love to actually hear, and I don't know, I'm addressing this to Regina as the moderator. I would love for people to let us know about some of their work. There's someone, I think Sharmini from Malaysia was asking about what is the progress of this campaign in Malaysia. I really wanted to throw that question out there. Who all are logged in? From what countries are you coming from? What organizations are you coming from? If you can say that, if you can type that in your chat boxes, if you can send that information to Regina, and tell us about what some of your initiatives, because following up to this webinar, what I would love to do is, if you are interested, if you have local grassroots initiatives that you know about which are not showcased on Seno so far, I would love for you to let us know about them. And if you are part of an organization and you have plans coming up about initiatives on ending violence against women, UNIFEM would love to know what these are and how we can support you through Seno. There's another statement, a question. In many parts of the world, violence against women is still seen as a stigma, even though it is slowly reducing. And many high-profile men still do not want to take up the cause and stand up publicly to say no. How do you think we can further reduce the stigma and get more men on board? Your thoughts? I think it is very true that great strides have been made, progress has been made by the women's movement so far towards ending violence against women. But the reality, as you portrayed, is still pretty alarming, because according to some of the recent research that we've seen, multi-country studies that have happened, up to 70% women and girls worldwide may still experience physical or sexual abuse in their lifetime.